So when I just started to play chess, I've been very bad. I blundered almost every game that I've played in. And so this is something that I really wanted to fix because I was really in the zone and I really wanted to level up at chess. So what I've done is I've hired a tutor, which happens to also be an international master, that leveled me up in chess, called Ariel Ehrenberg. We'll have him probably here on the channel in the future. And also, he leveled me up very fast, from like 700 that I was stuck in to 1300 in 4 months, which is crazy in my opinion. And so in this video, I'm gonna show some lessons that I've learned with him for beginners who are gonna watch this video, and so that you could improve and do better than I've done. Let's start. This video is for players who are at around 700 to 1000 elo levels. If you are an intermediate player, there may be still lessons here that you can learn, but it's mostly for beginners. So the first lesson that most helped me as a beginner is that you actually need to play with what is called principles in chess. Now, principles, they are basically a set rules of what to do and also set rules of what not to do when you play. So let's say, for an example, you are starting just like here, and you're not starting with an opening. You're gonna need what is called principles, and what turns out is that many players just decide to neglect them and they play really unprincipled. And what happens then is that they're just getting stuck as a beginner, as opposed to other people who just decide to play very principled with their play style at the beginning, and they level up really fast. This is especially for you if you have been doing weird moves like as a beginner. If you've been doing weird moves like pawn here, pawn there, like this. Let's say, for an example, you have been moving a piece more than once. Little things like this, he really teaches you need to play principled so that you won't face them. And also that you as a player are gonna be in a much easier position, and you're gonna win a lot of the other players who are just not playing principled and they just do random moves throughout the entire game. So the first lesson, play principled. Go now to YouTube and write down opening principles and watch a bunch of videos on how to play principled. Write them down and then test it. You're gonna level up a lot easier and a lot faster. So the second lesson that he taught me is that you also need to play with an opening, but you don't need a group of opening. If you're, for an example, learning to play the Italian, for an example, you're learning to play the Italian, you don't need then to learn how to play Queen's Gambit, for an example. You need to learn just one opening for each side, which is not complicated. It is a simple opening. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna master it until, let's say, for an example, you're 1600, 1700, especially if you're white, you need only one opening, and to just be super good at it until you're on an intermediate level where it just feels like you need to learn more, but you will know when you're gonna need to learn more openings. But as a beginner, a lot of beginners, including probably you, are just going to try to learn multiple openings at the same time, and that is actually the wrong way to do it. I've done this as a mistake, and then what he told me is that you as a beginner, you don't need to learn many openings. You just need to learn one opening as white and one opening as black, and to just master these ones. And then he told me, okay, let's say, for an example, something happens to you and you don't know what to do. Let's say, for an example, you're doing your Italian, okay? And then the opponent comes with something that you have no idea how to counter, like this, okay? the Borg defense, let's say it does something like that. You're gonna then have principles that we've just talked about that are going to help you navigate that situation. So again, have an opening. And play very, very principled. And this is going to turn you from a low level player into a very high level one. Not high level one, but an intermediate player. So now the third lesson that it taught me is that you can actually play just games that are longer so that you'll actually improve in chess. So let's say, for an example, you're doing games of 10 minutes, 20 minutes. That is great. It's better to do 20 minutes and 30 minutes than, let's say, 10 minutes and less, because again, you're trying to play, but not to have fun, particularly. Of course, if you have fun, it's great, but specifically so that you could improve in chess. So this is something that you can do right now, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna affect your games immediately when you start playing. Go to your platform, wherever you play, just like here, and just like here on chess.com. Go to a platform that you play and move the timer from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. That simple. And you're gonna save yourself a lot of time and trouble doing this. The fourth lesson that it taught me is that you should never try to play Blitz specifically to improve. Now, of course, you can play Blitz for fun, but specifically when you're trying to improve a chess, you need to have more time to think and elaborate on each move that you're doing. So you do not want to play games that are super short, just like Blitz. You want to play games that are very long, like, as we have just talked about, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so that you could actually learn more, and it will also be easier for you to play them because you're not going to have shortage of time, like in 10 minutes usually. Well, that's it for today's video. Let me know if this is something that helped you and I will make more from. Leave your questions down in the comments and I will see you the next time. Leave a subscribe if you've learned something, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.